Does religious persecution still occur in communist countries today? Have you ever wondered how religious beliefs are treated in countries with communist governments? The reality is that religious persecution is still a pressing issue in several nations governed by communist parties or officially socialist states. In these regions, the state often views religion as a threat to its authority and control. This leads to policies that restrict religious practice and expression. Take China, for instance. The Chinese Communist Party maintains strict oversight of all religious activities. They enforce a policy known as Sinicization of religion, which aims to align religious practices with socialist values. This means that the government monitors and controls religious groups, especially those that are not registered with the state. Surveillance technologies, including artificial intelligence and facial recognition, are used to track members of religious communities. In China, churches, mosques, and temples may be demolished, and religious leaders or followers can face detention or harassment. The state even rewrites religious texts to fit its narrative. Religious minorities, such as Uyghur Muslims, Tibetan Buddhists, Christians, and Falun Gong practitioners, are particularly targeted. Cuba presents another example. The Communist Party exercises significant control over religious organizations through the Office of Religious Affairs. The government monitors and restricts religious groups, limiting their ability to operate independently. Religious activities requiring state approval and groups that do not comply may face interference or harassment. Recent constitutional changes have further tightened state control over religious expression. North Korea and Vietnam also impose strict controls on religion. In North Korea, practicing religion outside state-sanctioned groups is virtually non-existent. Individuals caught practicing privately risk severe punishment. In Vietnam, religious groups must register with the state, and unregistered groups face persecution. The perspective of communism in these countries is that religion must be managed to prevent it from becoming a rival source of authority. The state justifies its actions as necessary to maintain social stability and ideological unity. From this viewpoint, religious persecution is not seen as an attack on freedom but as a measure to protect the interests of the state. Practical examples of this persecution include the use of technology to monitor religious gatherings, restrictions on religious education, and the requirement for groups to obtain state approval for their activities. These measures ensure that religion does not challenge the dominance of the ruling party. In summary, religious persecution remains a reality in many communist countries today. The state enforces strict controls over religious practice, often justifying these actions as necessary to protect its authority. While the situation varies by country, the pattern of state control and persecution is consistent across several communist or socialist states.